The site, named after its discoverer, is still the only known painted cave with an entrance beneath the sea.
What if I told you a single painting could rewrite human history?
So it must have been another species of human who created these particular artworks in the west of Spain.
I'm talking about a cave painting so old that it has challenged pretty much everything we know about our past.
We've dated it to 45,500 years ago.
So, from depictions of strange animals and beings to actual paintings featuring what appear to be extraterrestrials.
One of the cave paintings illustrates several women being taken to a mysterious-looking craft.
Buckle up, folks. I'm about to reveal everything you need to know about this mysterious painting and more. Number 22, the Hall of Bulls. Even though this cave painting was discovered back in 1940, it's considered to be at least thousands, if not millions of years old. And the fact that it was discovered in the Laas Geel caves just makes it so much more interesting.
Discovered by a local teenager and his dog, Robot. The walls were painted around 17,000 years ago, making them one of the oldest collections of cave paintings in the world.
The Laas Geel caves house some of the most intricate, meaningful, and mysterious prehistoric artwork ever found. But what's so interesting about the Hall of Bulls? It's not exactly something alien considering how the paintings are just depictions of aurochs, deers, and horses. But how in the world are the colors still so vivid after thousands of years?
One cave, called the Hall of the Bulls, has a painting of a bull that is 5.2 meters long. It is the largest cave painting of an animal ever discovered.
And hold up, half of these animals didn't even exist in this region. So, how did these early humans even know these animals existed? Were they symbolic or signs of early migration? Believe it or not, some researchers actually believe these paintings could be signs of humanity's first ever contact with the natural world.
Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week.
I mean, it might not exactly sound so significant, but the fact that this cave painting could be the first ever depiction of understanding or thought is just crazy. But at the same time, researchers are baffled as the paintings were found deep within the cave, where even the toughest of our ancestors wouldn't dare to go. So, was it actually early humans who drew these paintings, or was it something watching them? I guess that's something we'll never know, as the Hall of Bulls remains one of the most mysterious cave paintings ever. But this isn't the only place where such paintings were found. Number 21, the first known masterpiece. Were the first humans just hunters, or did they have a deeper artistic purpose? The paintings in the Altamira caves in Spain definitely tell a different tale. We're talking about art preserved in its finest form for nearly 20,000 years, making it one of humanity's earliest art galleries.
The artists of Altamira weren't just doodling, they were masters of their craft. They used simple tools and pigments derived from natural materials.
And to think how it was discovered by an archaeologist's daughter who mistakenly stumbled upon the colorful painting. But the reason why I question whether early humans were just hunters is because of the advanced artistic techniques used to paint the animals and shapes. The shading techniques, use of pigmentation to give color, and just the steadiness of hand makes you wonder just how capable early humans may have been. Oh, and another interesting fact about these paintings. They were first discovered back in 1879 before being lost to time.
The caves were first discovered in 1868. However, the cave paintings were not discovered until 1879.
Researchers thought the whole thing was just a hoax and that the paintings never even existed. It wasn't until centuries later did they realize these paintings are actually real. Number 20, generational stories. Isn't it cool how you can just open up a history book and travel hundreds of years back in time? Well, about several thousands years back, the only way to do this was through paintings, carvings, and other illustrations. And if you thought the paintings in the Altamira caves were old, wait till you hear about these generational stories hidden deep in the Chauvet cave. These paintings were discovered in the 18th century, but as far as the artwork itself is concerned, it's estimated to be at least 30,000 years old.
Hundreds of images adorn the walls, most of them animals. Drawn with charcoal and red ochre, they're surprisingly sophisticated.
How are they generational stories, though? Well, some of the paintings feature animals that had gone extinct thousands of years before the paintings themselves. Is our understanding of history flawed? Do we have the timeline all wrong? Or did some of the world's most violent animals actually exist alongside early humans? On the other hand, these paintings may just be way older than we think, since it could just be a way for the earliest humans to record history for future generations, sort of like books, or in our case, memes and pictures. But yeah, the fact that the cave has pictures of some of the oldest animals ever is just super eerie.
For more than 20 years, it was accessible to the public, until increasingly visible damage from mould and bacteria forced the authorities to seal it off. But these paintings are now thought to be damaged beyond repair.
Number 19, the sorcerer. This is where things get weird, people. Until now, I've shared some prehistoric paintings, mostly depicting animals and early humans. But this painting in the Cave of the Trois Frères is one that defies all explanations. And I don't mean it has something to do with our history or anything, nor is it something that challenges the way we understand time. It's something else altogether, since it depicts a creature almost resembling a human-animal hybrid, the sorcerer, or at least that's what locals call the painting. It's at least 15,000 years old and shows a creature with deer-like antlers, a human body, and the tail of a horse. Some researchers don't think it's actually some sort of a hybrid creature, since it could represent how early humans connected with nature. I mean, it might just be a shaman in trance connecting with the natural world. But what's odd about the painting is the precision of its design. There's no way in this world that painting is shaped by an imagination or something. That looks real as it gets. Number 18, the Wall of Hands. Some of you might actually know about this painting, considering how it's actually quite famous. Located in a mysterious cave in Argentina, the Wall of Hands is a 10,000-year-old painting of haunted stenciled handprints. Plus, if you look closely, it doesn't even look like it's a painting. It almost looks like it's been made using a spray paint technique. And here's another terrifying detail that you might have missed. Notice how all the hands are left-handed. Doesn't seem so random now, does it? It's almost as if this was a ritual of some sorts, with only a particular group of people part of the act. Some of the hands either look abnormal or are much larger in size, suggesting how it could just be evidence of a genetic anomaly. Researchers believe the painting could even be representing extraterrestrial influence, depicting the peaceful coexistence of our species. Number 17, the dancing figure. Imagine a rock shelter hidden in India with over 7,000 cave paintings, with some dating back nearly 30,000 years. Isn't that incredible? And these aren't just animals or anything. These paintings are telling an entire story, as they're depictions of hunters, dancing figures, and entire societies as well. And now for the mysterious bit. While most of the paintings seem rather normal, there are a few in which early humans can be seen wearing some advanced headgear and attire. It's so bizarre that it almost seems futuristic. Pair that with all the intricate and geometric patterns all around the paintings, and researchers arrive at the same exact point. Were ancient humans way more advanced than us? Did something wipe them all out, destroying all the technology along with them? These mystical paintings are all we have now, and it doesn't look like we'll get any answers either. Number 16, the world's oldest scene. The theme so far has just been humans, animals, and strange symbols. The painting is found deep within Brazil's Serra da Capivara National Park, and if you ask me, it has the potential to rewrite history. Dating back to at least 25,000 years, if not older, the mural shows pretty much the same thing as all the other paintings. But here's the catch. The art itself predates the supposed arrival of humans in the Americas. How could that be? How is this mural older than human? And that leads me to the million-dollar question. If not humans, then who? It's possible that everything we know about migration is wrong. Humans may have walked the earth way before we originally thought, coexisting with animals that supposedly went extinct way before them. And in a way, even though the artwork dates back to 25,000 years, it could very well be the world's oldest scene, since it was found in a region with no human activity. Number 15, the alien figures. You're going to love this one, and this cave isn't just an ordinary cave either. No sir, it's supposedly haunted since it's located in the Sahara Desert in Algeria. It's called the Tessilinager cave art, and it depicts beings that defy all explanation. And I know we've seen some strange things like that human hybrid, but at least we knew what it was, right? I mean, we could identify the different animals, but it's nothing like that with this one. Also known as the round heads, these figures, painted about 7,000 years back, have large circular heads with featureless faces. And if I didn't know any better, this is probably what aliens look like. Plus, notice how they appear to be wearing gear that resembles a spacesuit. Were the round heads just vivid products of early imagination, or did they have an extraterrestrial origin?
As ancient astronaut theorists suggest that the natives of the Tassili caves depicted the ancient astronaut that visited them in the past 10,000 years ago.
Some researchers think it could even be the representation of God itself, but I'm not sure about that one. Either way, whatever it is, it's definitely left experts scratching their their heads. And the craziest part is how there's paintings of animals and plants as well, clearly signaling at how the Sahara was once a lush green plain. Number 14, Laas Geel, Vibrant Mystery. Discovered in the early 2000s, the Laas Geel cave paintings are perhaps some of the most famous in the world. They're not even that old either, as they only date back to about 5,000 years old. And if I'm being honest, the paintings aren't exactly that mysterious either, since they just show different types of cattle.
Some paintings also show indigenous people worshiping cows as well.
And scenes of daily life. The only thing that makes these cave paintings controversial is the location of the cave itself. I mean, the fact that someone went through so much to reach the cave and draw these paintings hints at something we might possibly be missing. What if this site was some sort of a sanctuary or ritual site? Maybe herders sacrificed cattle here, or maybe it was a hidden canvas preserved specifically for storytelling. The possibilities are endless. Oh, and did I tell you how some of the animals even had what appear to be halos over their head? It's possible cattle were actually worshipped thousands of years back. Number 13, Beneath the Sea. Get ready for a twist. You've heard of caves in the middle of the desert or in remote location. But what about cave paintings 120 feet underwater? Yep, I'm talking about none other than the Cosquer Cave in France. It was found back in 1985 and shows rather haunting images of horses, seals, and even penguins dating back to about 20,000 years.
200 paintings of antelopes, horses, bison, and most surprisingly of all, seals and penguins.
But under the water? Why would someone go draw these paintings underneath the water? Well, scientists do believe the coastline was further out during the Ice Age, but it still doesn't answer the question. What were early humans trying to tell us? Why these animals in particular? And is there a link between horses, seals, and penguins? The now submerged site remains a modern-day mystery for researchers, as they've failed to find any plausible theories. Perhaps these paintings mark some sort of a spiritual connection to water and all marine life, or maybe it has something to do with survival. Number 12, the world's first story. So we know of the world's oldest scene, but what about the first story? What if I told you of a cave painting so old that it might just be the first ever narrative art in the history of human? You're probably wondering though, old how? What about 45,000 years old? Hidden deep within the Sulawesi cave in Indonesia, this artwork might just be the world's first story. It shows a scene of hunters armed with spears surrounding wild pigs, buffaloes, and other animals. And when you think about it, it's interesting how even 45,000 years back, humans had something for recording history. I mean, it might just be an ordinary hunting scene for us, but it's possible that that might have been the first time humans ever encountered a particular animal. And now for the bizarre bit. Why does the first ever story feature hybrid human? Were they actually a thing? What do you think? Number 11, Gabar Cave. There's nothing special about the paintings in this cave. No, I mean it. I'm not leading you on or anything. If you're expecting some sort of hybrid human or alien creature, then please, that's not happening. It's actually quite the opposite. And don't get me wrong, the cave is super famous in Australia, since it's everything about their culture all in one place. Kangaroos, emus, early humans, you name it. You get the idea. But you know this cave made it to the video for a reason. While there might not be any scary artwork, or wild story being the artwork, there's something else that sparks curiosity. The paintings are an estimated 28,000 years old. How in the world did early humans know how to carve stone pillars back then? You heard that right. Inside the cave are intricately carved stone pillars that are nothing short of art themselves. Did ancient humans have some sort of advanced tools? And how did they understand engineering concepts so well? Is it just me, or does something not add up here? Number 10, 73,000-year-old pattern. Is it insane how these symbols are just cute doodles for us, when in reality they could actually mean so much? Just think about it. In actuality, this is just a 73,000-year-old cross-hatched pattern. But to humans of that time, this could be anything. An advanced form of communication, some sort of ancient language, or even codes to communicate with a different species. And you have to realize as well that contrary to popular belief, our ancestors weren't just thriving or anything. They were actually creating, dreaming, and even leaving their mark in history. Anyway, a little more about the painting itself. It was discovered 23 years back in 2002 in the Blombos cave in South Africa. Interestingly enough, along with the painting, researchers also found different beads and tools indicating this region was once inhabited by a smart, thriving civilization. Number 9, Stone Tomb. To understand the significance of this site, it's important to understand the Mesopotamia writing system. Don't be alarmed though, that's just a fancy name for a form of script used by our early ancestors. And most of the symbols and shapes researchers find in caves usually resemble the Mesopotamia writing system. But what if I told you of symbols and paintings that that possibly predate that system. What that basically means is the symbols, pictures, and shapes found at the Kamyana Mohyla, aka the Stone Tomb, might hint at evidence of a lost civilization that predates the earliest forms of script. Imagine an entire world of early humans communicating in a language we know nothing about. As interesting and exciting as it may sound, it's also horrifying since there's probably so much history and information coded in this writing system. A lot of researchers have tried to decode the script, but most have failed. Some actually believe it is a language with great spiritual or even astronomical significance. Number 8, Tadrart Akakis. A snapshot of a lost ecosystem? Those are the Tadrart Akakis caves for you, ladies and gentlemen. Located in Libya and dating back to nearly 12,000 years, the Tadrart Akakis caves depict life in the heart of a lush, green, thriving Sahara. You heard that right, a barren desert that was once the center of life.
The images carved on these rocks portray some important evidence. This is a rock carving of a rhino. Rhino usually live in grassland and love to bathe in water.
I know it might be hard to believe, but it's true since this isn't the first time researchers have discovered early artworks about it. And when I say lush greenlands, I don't just mean grass and trees. These paintings depicted entire river systems, including animals that resemble giraffes and elephants. It's crazy how even the mightiest animals once thrived alongside early humans in a region where no one even dares to go nowadays. I mean, anyone thinking of visiting the Sahara is often considered crazy since it's mostly a one-way ticket. But at the same time, it makes you think, what even happened here? Was it climate change or human activity that transformed the region into what it is today? The sudden transformation from a lush green paradise to a barren wasteland can't be explained, but it's possible experts might just stumble across artwork finally revealing what really happened. Number 7, the red dots. So until now, all of these cave paintings were left as a mystery to us by early humans. But what if I told you of actual artwork left behind by Neanderthals? Well, El Castillo's red dots and hand stencils, dating back about 40,000 years, could just be that. And while that doesn't exactly seem like a big deal, you have to understand how it changes pretty much everything we know about our evolutionary cousin. I mean, we usually just view the Neanderthals as a species that wasn't even capable of symbolic thought, just brute hunters with not a single care in the world. But if this is actually true, it means that creativity started way before early human, and that the Neanderthals were much smarter than we originally thought. It's definitely super interesting, since it proves how our understanding of history could be completely wrong, and not to mention how we've evolved from a species with a high level of consciousness of the world around them. Oh, also, why red dots and hand stencils in particular? Maybe it was their way of preserving their dying species, or perhaps a ritual, or even some form of counting. I sure wish they left behind a detailed manual as well, but that would be cheating, right? Number 6. The Rainbow Serpent, Ubir Rock Art, Australia. The rock art of Ubir is known for its vibrant depiction of animals and even some mythical being, dating back to nearly 20,000 years, also including the rainbow serpent as well. What's the rainbow serpent, you might ask? Well, thankfully, researchers have been able to do quite a bit of digging around and believe the serpent represents creation and destruction. And interestingly enough, ancient artists actually returned to this site to repaint everything, ensuring what? Their preservation, or perhaps signaling the repeat of a particular event. The reason I say that is because some experts have doubled down on this particular artwork, claiming it represents catastrophic events like floods, earthquakes, or some other natural disaster. I don't know about you, but that honestly sounds spooky considering how early humans were keeping track of such events. Number 5, the Cave of Beasts. Speaking of spooky, ever heard of the Cave of Beasts? Located near the Libya-Egypt border, the Cave of Beasts was discovered in the 1930s and dates back about 7,000 years. The artwork? Bizarre depictions of human creatures with strange animal-like heads dancing around fire. Again, these could just be ancient shamanic rituals since they were quite popular in this region. But the fact that researchers are seeing more of these human-like species all over the world is kind of eerie. Maybe there was a species between Neanderthals and early humans? Number 4, Mura Cave. Let's journey inside the Mura Cave located in Bulgaria. Now, I'll keep it real with you. As far as all the symbols and artwork go, there's nothing special. It's the same thing experts have found all over the world. But hold up. there's a twist. There's actually a 12,000-year-old spiral in the mix as well. And while it could just be a random shape, some researchers believe it's actually an ancient astronomical calendar. What's it used for, though? Well, apart from tracking the lunar phases, it's possible early humans might have used this calendar to align their lives with celestial events. Number 3. Warengarren Cave, Belgium. These aren't exactly paintings, but I think they still count as early artwork. And when you realize how it's pretty much 3D ancient art, it's hard not to talk about it. Who would have even guessed early humans could come up with motion graphics back then? The cave has carvings of maze-like spheres with animals almost appearing as if they are in motion. Was this just an innocent mistake, or did these ancient artists realize how they could express so much with their art? And speaking of the maze-like spheres, what were those? Some sort of map? Or what if they were secret passages into different realms? I don't know, but if you were to go 10,000 years back, different parts of the world would definitely feel like different realms. Number 2, the lightning. Here's another really interesting cave painting from the Kakadu National Park in Australia, and chances are you've probably seen it. The Lightning Man. And before you start thinking it's an actual painting of a man getting struck by lightning, that's not the case. Painted about 20,000 years back, the Lightning Man shows what appears to be an early human with their internal organs visible. And an interesting fact about that is how this particular style of art was actually native to the region. But here's what I'm thinking: who was this man? And why are there so many drawings of him? Was he a being with superpowers? Or what if he wasn't even from this planet? There are so many references to the Lightning Man that it almost seems as if ancient humans worshipped this being. Some experts believe this being was actually a shaman, followed by thousands in the region. Number 1, Wonderwork Cave. The Wonderwork Cave isn't exactly famous for its painting. Believe it or not, it's actually known for being one of the first sites on Earth with evidence of an actual controlled fire. This was pretty much the dawn of fire, since experts believe the evidence is at least millions of years old. The Wonderwork Cave, located in South Africa, might just be where human innovation and culture started from. It doesn't end there. Researchers also found prehistoric tools indicating that this cave might just have been one of the earliest workshops in the world. And despite not having a lot of paintings or carving, it still remains one of the most significant archaeological sites in the world, since this might just be the place where fire was first discovered. That's millions of years of history all present inside a cave. Just the idea of being able to see it with your own eyes must be such a profound experience. Anyway, that's it from our side, folks. So, what do you think? What cave painting intrigued you the most? And do you think these mysterious cave paintings have deeper meaning than what meets the eye? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos in the future. Thanks for watching, folks, and see you next time.